5 seconds of emptiness. 5 seconds that could change everything. It sounds harmless. Just 5 seconds. No more than the pause between two breaths, the blink of an eye, the silence in a conversation. But on Earth, the atmosphere is not just air. It is a shield, a blanket, a life support system that has taken billions of years to form. Remove it even for the briefest moment, and those 5 seconds become some of the most catastrophic in our planet's history. The first second, silence. The atmosphere vanishes instantly, and with it goes the air we breathe. Every person on Earth feels their lungs collapse inward, the pressure around them dropping to zero. Eardrums rupture, blood vessels burst, and the moisture in eyes and mouths boils away in the sudden vacuum. You wouldn't die instantly. You could survive about 15 seconds without oxygen, but panic and pain would rip through every living thing. At the same moment, the world goes silent. No wind, no sound, no whisper of air. The familiar hum of life is replaced by nothing. Earth becomes a dead, airless world, like the moon. The second and third seconds, cosmic fury. Without the atmosphere, Earth is exposed to the raw power of space. The sun's ultraviolet radiation slams into the surface unfiltered, burning unprotected skin instantly. Cosmic rays bombard everything, invisible and lethal. Airplanes drop out of the sky as their lift vanishes. Birds plummet. Insects fall lifeless. Fires go out, unable to burn without oxygen. Factories, power plants, cars, all engines powered by combustion, stutter into silence. Civilization itself pauses in shock. Meanwhile, every ocean, lake, and river begins to boil at the surface. Without atmospheric pressure holding it down, water flashes into vapor. It's not enough time to drain the seas, but it's long enough to unleash a choking mist across coastlines. The fourth second, collapse. Buildings groan under the pressure difference as Earth's crust adjusts to the sudden release. Glass shatters, eardrums pop again, and lungs still straining for air begin to give out. Satellites in low orbit spiral briefly into unstable paths as drag disappears, while those on Earth's surface look up to see the stars suddenly revealed in dazzling clarity, brighter than ever before, an alien sky over a familiar world. For plants, the 5 seconds of darkness mean little, but for humans and animals, panic grows unbearable. Time slows. Every heartbeat feels stretched, every second an eternity. The fifth second, return. And then, just as suddenly as it vanished, the atmosphere slams back into place. Air rushes over the planet in a deafening roar. Winds scream at supersonic speeds, crushing forests, collapsing buildings, and stirring up massive dust storms. Planes that were plummeting regain lift too late, smashing into the ground. Birds that fell strike Earth like stones. The sudden reappearance of pressure bursts lungs, already damaged by the vacuum. Those who survived the silence are torn apart by the noise, the wind, the violence of air returning all at once. The oceans calm, but the scars remain. Steam clouds rising into thunderheads that circle the globe. Fires reignite, storms surge, chaos rules. The aftermath. It was only 5 seconds, but those 5 seconds would scar the planet forever. Billions would die instantly from pressure loss, radiation exposure, or the violence of the atmosphere's return. Infrastructure everywhere would collapse. Communications would fail, power grids would falter, and satellites destabilized by the sudden drag change would scatter across orbit. The biosphere would be wounded. Many animals would not recover. Crops, forests, and ecosystems would feel the shockwaves of radiation and heat. Humanity itself would be thrown into survival mode, reeling from a disaster so fast that no one had time to prepare. And yet, Earth would continue. The atmosphere would settle. Winds would calm. Life would adapt, rebuild, and evolve again. But the memory would never fade. The day the air itself vanished, and the world was left naked under the stars. The final thought. So, what if Earth's atmosphere suddenly disappeared for just 5 seconds? It would not simply be a strange scientific experiment. It would be a global cataclysm. A brief vacuum, a moment of silence, followed by chaos and collapse. It reminds us how fragile life really is. Every breath we take is a gift of that invisible ocean of air. Without it, even for the blink of an eye, our world becomes alien, deadly, and silent. 5 seconds. That's all it would take to remind us that the atmosphere is not something we live in. It is something we live because of.